Hello, all. Welcome to my channel. I am Raju Pujela. This is one of the most interesting concepts that I would like to share in this tutorial. So, the correlation. So, when I started studying machine learning on my own pace. So, there is this concept called correlation. So, for example, if you have like 100 columns, you have to understand what is the correlation between these columns to understand whether these columns are really important for your machine learning, I mean, to feed to your ML model. So, correlation is nothing but to understand the relationship between two columns of data. For example, let's quickly see one of the examples. So, let's see over here. So, there is one table where the column one first column says department, the second column says salary. So now, so we have to understand: is there any correlation between these two? Hmm. For humans, us we can say that this is the department, there is a salary. Based on the department, it gives a salary. So this is a correlation. Maybe let's take a second example. So we have one more table where the column one says like vehicle one, column says two says like vehicle two. So for example, bus, truck. These are like vehicles. Car, van, motorbike, electric bike. So by looking at this one, we can say that there is a correlation for these two columns. And whereas for this one, we really don't know whether this data is like correlated. So for machine learning models, it's very much important to understand when you are doing EDA, exploratory data analysis, you must understand is there any relationship between the columns, and if in case if there is no relation, your model is not going to be successful once after you train the model or after spending hours and hours. So this is sample data. So what we can do, we will take the data and we will see is there any relationship between these two columns, and also we will see is there any relationship between these two columns as well. So now I'm taking this one. Let's go to the BigQuery tutorial. So I have this data with department as select HR 600. So sell HR as domain, 600 as salary, union all, select HR, 1000, union all, select sales 200, union all, select sales 400. Let's say, okay, let's say this is the data. Now select star from department. Okay, let's run this one. Okay, now let's try to find the correlation between unexpected identifier. What is that? Department. Okay, okay, let's delete this one. Let's run the data over here. And now let's try to find the correlation between the first two columns, the correlationship of domain and the salary. Okay, and this is a window function. So over partition by domain as correlation. Let's to take a look at this one. Okay, one more thing that we have to understand over here is that for the correlation, the values, it should be the integers, not the strings. Okay, so this is a lesson. So what we can do, instead of HR, let's keep the domain as 1. Okay, let's keep this as 1, and the sales, let's keep it as a 2, and let's keep it as a 2. So we know that now 1 is represents HR, 2 represents sales. Now let's run this one. Now you can see that NaN means there is no relationship between the column 1 and the column 2. So I mean, but if in case if you see some values, you can see like I mean the highest value is plus 1, the lowest value is minus 1, minus 1. So if you have a value which is like 0.89, if it generates a value, which means that the correlation is really good. If in case if it generates something like minus 0.27, which means that the correlation is still good actually. So basically, whether it is, if it is a 1, it's a positive correlation, minus 1 is negative correlation. But as long as we're getting some value, which means that this is really good. But I mean, 0.89 minus 0.89, both of them, they're indicating that the correlation between the two columns is really good, but the first one represents the positive correlation, the second one represents a negative correlation. So positive correlation is nothing but direct proportional. Okay, and negative correlation is nothing but inverse proportion. So in direct proportional, if A increases, B also increases. If inverse proportional, if A increases, B decreases. So this is the relation between two columns, and this is very much important. And I'm like very happy when I got to know that there is a window function like this in SQL, which really helped me to quickly find the correlation between two columns. Thank you for watching this video.